Hello everyone, welcome back to Barre. My name is Cait. I am so sad that we can't be in the studio together, but I'm very happy that we are still able to get some workouts in together. Hopefully you've been enjoying these videos. If you've never done a barre class before, it is a full body total workout. So we will be using or working all of our muscle groups as well as some of those smaller assister muscle groups as well that sometimes get missed. So we'll start out with a little bit of a warm-up, then we'll move on to legs, hit some arms, do a little bit more leg work down on the floor, and then we'll have abs and we will be done. So barre is all about posture, so you always want to be having your shoulders rolling back. That spine should always be lengthened, always be straight. You always want to have that core engaged, so always be standing up tall, really thinking about that posture as we go through this whole class. Here we go. So like I said, we're going to be starting out with a little bit of a warm-up, so you can just start off by circling out those hips, do a couple forward, a couple backwards, kind of like you're stepping over a fence, a really short fence, and then switch legs, circling out those hips, couple backwards, and a couple forward. Perfect. So shake out those legs a little bit. We're going to start off warming up our legs. So you're going to take a wider stance, so wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to be working with some side lunges. We're going to start off on that right side. So you're going to send those hips back, putting most of your weight onto that left or that right leg, and then standing back up. So I'll do a little side view here. Sending those hips back and then standing back up. So that left leg stays mostly straight for this. You can have a slight bend if that's a little more comfortable. Again, those shoulders are rolling back, that spine stays straight. We're pulling that core in. Think about pulling your belly button towards your spine. Beautiful. Your weight should be in your heel here, so you should be able to wiggle those right toes even when you're down in that lunge. You can have those hands either in front of you or you can place them on your hips, whatever works best for you. Really sinking low. Taking this at your own pace this whole class. If you want to go a little bit faster, if you want to go slower and really control the posture of it, whatever works best for you, this is your workout. Sending those hips back, driving them right back up. Couple more here. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wherever you're at, we're going to sink back into that lunge. We're going to pulse here. So a pulse is just a couple inches up, a couple inches down. It's a very much a staple in barre. So we're going to be doing a lot of pulsing today. So let's just stay here, really getting deep into those muscles. Sink a little bit lower. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Standing back up, back to that full range of motion, still on this right side. Lifting and lowering, squeezing at the bottom, pushing back up, driving those hips up to the top, engaging your muscles the whole time. Start getting them warmed up, ready for your workout. Couple more. In 4, we're going to switch to the other side. 2, and last 1. We're going to move right over onto that right or that left side this time. Sinking low, that right leg is going to stay straight this time. Bending over towards that left. So your knees should be going in the direction of your second toe, which is pointing forward. So we're not in like a warrior, our knee isn't turned out. It's kind of like just half of a squat. Lunging over to the side and back to center. So those toes are pointing forward, that knee is going forward. That weight should be in your heel, so you should be able to wiggle those toes. That core is tight, so no wobbling around. We're staying nice and controlled. Power down, power right back up. Squeezing at the bottom, pushing back up. Pull that core in. Couple more, and then we have those pulses. You got it. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wherever you're at, sinking low, pulsing here. Couple inches up, couple inches down. Then making sure that knee is going straight. You're not moving it from side to side. You're moving those hips up and down. So your whole upper body should be pulsing with you. You can do it, sink a little bit lower. You are almost there. Little tiny motion here, small but mighty. You're done in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to that full range of motion, lunging over to that left side, powering back up. Good, we're almost there. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand it back up, walking those legs in. We're gonna move down to the floor. So to warm up our upper body here, we're gonna be in a push-up position on our knees. So I'm gonna do it from the side here. So we're gonna have those hips in line, so you're not back in a tabletop, really being in that push-up position. Those wrists are gonna be right beneath your shoulders. So from here, we're gonna come into a push-up, bring it all the way down. Then we're gonna open up, bringing that right arm and right leg up to the side into kind of a side plank. We're gonna bring it back down to center. We're gonna alternate onto that other side. So push up, down, pushing back up, shifting over into that side plank, lifting up that left leg, left arm, and then coming back to center. So you're taking this at your own pace. You can get in 2 reps and make them absolutely beautiful, or you can drive that pace a little bit faster. See how many reps you can get in. You are on push up to the front, open up to the side, lift that arm and leg, back to that push up. Really be using that core here. Keeping that spine straight. Watch that posture. Resetting if you need to as you go from that plank to that push-up. You are so strong, you got it. Couple more. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to that push-up position and then pushing back to child's pose. That is our warm-up. You can go ahead and walk those hands in. We're gonna be moving up to do some legs. We're gonna be doing a lunge sequence. So you're gonna want to hang on to some sort of furniture, wall, a door. I have a chair here that I'm gonna be using for balance. So we're gonna be facing whatever object you're using. You're gonna square your hips off to that. So that means you're not gonna be opening up to the side. Those hips are gonna be pointing forward the whole time. So light hand grip on whatever object you're using. We don't want a death grip on that item. We really wanna use our core for balance. This is just there for a little bit of support. So we're gonna be working with that left leg first. So we're gonna send it back all the way into a low runner's lunge. So that foot is gonna be as far away from you as you can. You're gonna be in a low runner's lunge. So we wanna make sure that that front knee, that right knee, is right over that ankle. So you don't want it to be back here, but you also don't want it to be up here. So that knee is right over your ankle. Those shoulders stay right over your hips. So we're not leaning forward here. We stay upright, that chest stays lifted as we're in this low lunge. So from here, we're gonna come up, 2, 3, into a squat. We're gonna send that left leg slow and controlled back. We're not just gonna throw it back and get back into it. We're gonna control stepping back, stepping up, 2, 3, into our squat, placing that foot back. So this whole time, this leg is gonna stay bent. So we're not coming up. You keep that knee, deep bend in that knee. As you come up, we stay low. You are on, send that left leg back. Come in for 1, 2, 3, squat to the middle, sending that left foot back. In 4, 3. Send that left leg back. I don't know about you, but my right leg, my supporting leg is already burning. Again, you're taking this at your own pace. If you can get 1 rep in and it looks beautiful, awesome. If you want to get a couple more, challenge yourself. See how many you can do. This whole time those shoulders are back. Make sure that core is engaged. Keep that right knee bent. Couple more here. Up, 4, 3. Squat, send it back. Last one here. We're gonna step into our squat. From here, we're just gonna pulse in the center. So I'm gonna face the camera here. So those feet aren't touching, but they're not quite shoulder width apart. So they're pretty close together. Those knees are parallel. So they're not going out, they're not going in. They're right in the direction of your second toe. This isn't a super low squat, just a pulse right, kind of at that 3/4 height. Couple inches up, couple inches down. Your weight should be in your heels, so you should be able to wiggle your toes. Sink those hips a little bit lower. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're gonna pull back, putting that foot back into our low runner's lunge. From here, we're gonna come off of the wall or the chair, whatever you're using. We're gonna windmill our arms down, placing that left hand on the floor, opening up into a stretch here, opening up that chest in our low runner's lunge, opening up those hips. From here, bringing that top arm down. So now both feet or both hands are framing your right foot. And then we're gonna inhale back up, almost into a warrior. And you can place those hands back on your object. And we're gonna come back in for 3, 3, 2, 1. Back pulsing into our squat here. So again, those feet are pretty close together, but they're not touching. Those knees are parallel. You're sinking your hips low. Light hand grip on that object. We're not here for too much longer. 4, 3, 2, and 1. This time we're gonna again step back into our low runner's lunge. This time we're just gonna take 2 steps in. So you might need to reset a little bit here, but we're going to come into a lunge. So close to 90-degree angle in both knees. We're gonna pulse here. So this is kind of the halfway point between that squat and then between that low runner's lunge. That right leg should be on fire, mine certainly is. You're sinking low, making sure your shoulders are right over your hips, making sure you're not opening up, but those hips again are squared off to the front. You got it. If you can't feel this yet, drop a little bit lower. I certainly can, so I'm not gonna drop any lower. 4, 3, 2, stay in this lunge. We're lifting up that front heel, dropping it back down. Isolating this motion here, you're still in this lunge. You're just moving that front heel up and down. You can do it. I know it's hard. I'm definitely sweating. If you can sink any lower, do it. I bet you can. You are almost there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to those pulses. It's probably not what you wanted to hear. Last time pulsing, then we're gonna step it in. We're so close. Challenge yourself here. If you can get lower, do it. You're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it in. That right leg should be pretty dead by now. Shake it out a little bit. You can go ahead and grab those right toes. Stretch out the front of your leg. Perfect, and release. Guess what? We get to do all of that on the other side. So I'm going to flip my chair to the other side so that you can see me a little better. So same thing here. We're going to start off with that low runner's lunge, stepping it in for 3, sending it right back out. So you're extending, lengthening it through that right leg this time, pointing through those toes, getting that leg as far away from you as you can, controlling it into that low runner's lunge, and then stepping it in to our squat. So this time, we are really going to be bringing out that left leg. So we're going to start standing close-ish to our object. If it's a wall, if it's a chair, whatever you have, countertop. We are going to sink back a little bit into our kind of chair pose, kind of squat, and sending that right foot back into our low runner's lunge. Again, checking that left knee, making sure it's right over your ankle. We don't want to be too far forward or too far back, just right over that ankle. And then make sure that those hips aren't open, but you're really driving those hips so they are pointing towards the wall. So starting back in our low runner's lunge, we're coming in for 3 and sending that foot back into 3, sinking low and back. Should be a deep bend in that left leg the whole time. I'm going to take this at your own pace. Watch your posture. Make sure you're using your core for balance and not your object. That object is just there for support. You got it. In for 3, sink low, send that right leg back. That left leg should already be burning. If you can't feel it yet, sink a little bit lower. Keep it up. You know what's coming next. We have 1 more. In for 3, wherever you're at, coming back to this squat or kind of like a chair pose, and we're pulsing here. Again, your weight is in your heels. You should be able to wiggle those toes, roll those shoulders back, kind of reset your posture here. Make sure that spine is long, belly button pulling in. Couple inches up, couple inches down. Sink those hips a little bit lower. For 4, 3, 2, 1, sending that leg back. Again, into our low runner's lunge, taking those hands off your object. We're gonna windmill them down to the mat. So placing that right hand down this time, lifting those left fingertips tall, opening up the chest here, dropping those hips down, stretch it out. Let gravity do the work here, pulling those hips towards the floor. And then bringing that top arm down. You're framing your foot with your hands, carefully standing back up, almost into like a warrior pose. Placing those hands back on your object, stepping in for 3. Again, back into our actual lunge here. So you have a close to a right angle in both knees. Instead of that back leg being straight, we're bending that one as well. Pulsing in this lunge here. Again, make sure that knee is over your ankle. Those shoulders stay right over your hips. Keep that chest lifted. That left leg should be on fire. Mine's already shaking. Sinking low. You can do it. We're almost there. Sink a little lower. 4, 3, 2. Again, don't come out of it. Taking out that pulse, lifting and lowering that left heel. So everything else stays right where it's at. You're just isolating this motion, lifting and lowering that heel. I know it burns. I'm right there with you. We can do it. Use that core. Keep breathing. You are almost there. Keep going for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dropping that heel back to our pulses. I know it's hard, but we can do it. Strong and mighty. Small motion. We're almost there. Sink a little lower. We get to step it in after this. You are so close. Sink a little lower. Challenge yourself here. You're done in 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it in. Standing it up. Shake out those legs. Oh my Lanta. Grabbing that right or left foot this time. Stretch out the front of your leg. Taking some deep breaths. You did it. My leg is shaking. Stretch out anything else or any other ways that you need to. We're gonna move on to arms, and like I said, we're gonna hit legs a little bit more on the floor after arms. I have those arms out straight to the side. Those palms are gonna be facing down. We wanna keep those arms right in line with our shoulders. As always, we're rolling those shoulders back. Those shoulder blades are pulling together. We're gonna start pulsing down. So just a couple inches up, couple inches down, really putting a lot of muscle behind this move. We're not just flopping them, we're really pressing down. Putting a lot of power into this. Standing up tall as always. Shoulders, again, we want to keep them away from our ears. 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to face those palms forward, pulsing forward. You're almost there. Again, making sure those arms, you're trying to keep them in line with your shoulders, so don't let them sneak down as you get tired. Keep them up for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Palms are going to face the ceiling, pulsing up. Similar to when we're pulsing down, but feels a little bit different. Looks pretty much the same. But those palms are facing the ceiling, pushing that air upwards. Keeping those arms as straight as possible. Reach those fingertips like you're trying to touch opposite walls. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Those palms face forward again, pulsing forward. If you can't feel this yet, you can make those pulses a little bit smaller and a little bit faster. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to pulsing down. Those palms are facing the floor. You got it. I know it's starting to burn. As we fatigue, we're going to want to pull our shoulders up, but we really got to press them down away from your ears. Don't let that posture go. We're almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't let those arms drop. We're going to rotate our thumbs back, kind of behind us. This one's just so much fun. We're going to pulse backwards. So those palms, almost like you're trying to face them up towards the ceiling backwards, but you're going to keep those hands in line with your shoulders, pulsing back here. It's a whole new kind of fun. I know it burns right there with you, but we can do it. We are strong. You're so close. Oh my goodness. We can do it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You get a break, we're not quite done. You can pull one arm across your body, stretch out that shoulder. Oh my goodness. It's very effective. And switch. Bring that other arm across your body. And release, shake it out, do whatever else you gotta do. We have a couple more arm circles, and then we're gonna move down to the mat or down to the floor and do some more arms. So we're gonna bring those arms back up. Feels awesome. So we're gonna start with our palms facing the ceiling. So those thumbs are kind of gonna be rotated back. So again, like you're trying to have those palms face the back wall, and then we're gonna rotate around. So kind of like you're making backward C's with your hands, or kind of like with your thumbs. So rotating open and then rotating back. I'm already feeling it. I already feel it a lot. Again, keep those shoulders down, don't let them sneak up. Keep those arms as straight as possible. Don't let those elbows come in. And keep those hands up in line with your shoulders. They're not down here. Really try and keep them up. Rotating as far as you can, both directions. It probably will depend on the person, how far you can rotate those arms. Doesn't really matter as long as you're feeling that burn. My shoulders are on fire. They're starting to twitch. We can do it. We're almost there. You're so close. Get a couple more in here. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop those arms, shake them out. Oh my goodness. Circle one out to the side. And switch directions. And then switch arms, circle it out to the side. Shake it out and switch directions. Awesome. We are going to be moving down to the floor. If you have a mat, great. You don't need one. You can just do it on the carpet, hardwood, whatever you got. We're going to be moving down, finishing up with arms. Moving on, we're gonna work with a cobra push-up. So I'm gonna do a side view for you here. But we're gonna come into kind of almost an upward facing dog. So you can come down onto your stomach and then onto your forearms. And from here, we're gonna be pushing into the heels of our hand. We're gonna come up and then slowly bring those elbows back down. I'll face this way a little bit. So pushing up here, and then slowly lowering back down. So this can be really easy. You can just kind of like lift and lower using your back, using your core, that kind of motion, but really engage those muscles, really push into the heels of your hands. I don't know if you can see me now that I'm forward. So pushing in and then slowly lowering back down. You are on. So we really want to keep those elbows in to the center. So they're not coming out to the side like this. We really want to tuck them right in under us. I feel like a mermaid moving around like this. I just want to make sure you can see me. So we're not having those elbows out to the side. We really want to keep them in to the center. Pushing in to your hands, slowly lowering back down. I'm gonna go to this angle. There, that's even better, I feel like. Okay. Again, we want to keep that chest lifted, so we're not coming down here, really lengthening that neck, slowly coming down, pushing back up. You should definitely be feeling this in your triceps. Mine are already burning. Again, if you can't feel this, really make sure you're pushing into your hands and taking any of the weight out of your upper body and just pushing it into your hands. So instead of using your back to push you up or kind of pull you up, really just putting all of your weight into your hands. Couple more here. I'm gonna take this at your own pace. One more. Bringing it back down onto your forearm. So from here, same motion, we're just gonna pulse up for 3. So that's gonna look like this. You're gonna come up, 2, 3, slowly come back down. Pulsing up, 2, 3, slowly coming back down. You are on. I know it burns. This is our last little bit of arms. Up for 3, slowly push back down, press up, 2, 3, keep those elbows in, lower down, press up for 3, lower back down. This is bar, so you know we have to do one more thing before we can move on, and that's pulse. I'm sure that's what you wanted to hear, but we can do it. Couple more, up for 3, push back down. Let all your weight come onto your hands as you press back down. Push up for 3, slowly come back down. You have one more, and then we have that pulse. Slowly come back down. So we're gonna push up into that right at 2. So when we're going up for 3, you're gonna come to that second level height. We're just gonna pulse here. This is just a couple centimeters up, couple centimeters down, because it's such a small range of motion. But really dig those palms of your hands in. Keep those elbows in. Don't let them sneak out. Oh, I know it burns. We're so close. Lower down just a little bit more. You can do it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew, drop it down. You can push back up into a child's pose, sinking back onto your heels. Reach those arms forward, stretch them out, and then you can walk those hands back in, stretch them out. Stretch out those arms any other way that you need to. And we're gonna move on to a little more leg work down here on the mat. We're gonna come onto the side here. So we're gonna start laying on our right side. So you can be down on that forearm, or actually let's do this. You can come down all the way onto your arm. You can rest your head in your hand. You can place that top on, that left arm up on your hip. I'm gonna move a little bit forward. So from here, we're gonna place that leg about a foot off the ground. From here, we're just gonna start pulsing. So that left leg never comes closer to the floor than that 1 foot height. Both legs are straight. You're gonna flex that foot so you're shooting energy out of that heel. So always we wanna be lengthening that leg. So really extending through that heel, reaching that leg like you're trying to touch that wall. Your core should be engaged here. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's so important. We don't wanna be wobbling around as we pulse here. Everything stays right where it's at. You're just moving this top leg, really isolating that motion. 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, we're gonna bend at the knee and then straighten. So you're just pulling that heel back towards your hips and then straightening it back out. So really squeeze those glutes as you bring that heel back and then come straight. Keep it up. No, we're not doing that angle. You're literally just gonna look at the bottom of my foot. Okay, we're gonna stay here. Bend that heel back and straighten. I thought it might be a good idea to do that angle, but it was not. So again, we still want that leg about a foot off the ground, so don't let it come down towards the floor. Keep that knee up. Extend out, really pressing through that heel, really flexing those muscles as you pull that heel back in. Keep it up. Those hips should be stacked, so they should be one right on top of the other. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're gonna keep that knee bent. You're gonna pulse that knee up towards the ceiling. So a couple inches up, couple inches down. You should start feeling it right over here. If you can't feel it yet, lift that knee up a little bit higher. You are keeping that heel flexed, really staying in control. You don't want to just be flopping around here, really staying tight. This is a small motion, small and controlled. 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, staying right where you're at. This time you're just gonna pulse that heel in towards your hips. So like before we were pulsing that knee up and down, now that knee is gonna stay right where it's at. You're just gonna pulse that heel in towards your hips or towards your glutes. If you can't feel this yet, you can press that knee back a little bit so that it's not quite right over your bottom leg, but it's back a little bit further. Even though your hips are gonna stay squared, you can kind of press that heel back a little bit further. Pulse that heel in. You should really be feeling it right here now. Staying strong. 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, going back to those pulses with that knee. Again, if you can't feel this yet, get that knee up there a little bit higher. Again, we're flexing that heel. Engage that core so you're not wobbling around. We are so close. We're working our way back. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. So from here, you're gonna straighten that leg back and then bring that heel back in towards your hip. So again, keep that leg about a foot off the ground. Keep that knee up. Reach through that heel, squeeze on the way back. Lengthen, extend, shooting energy out as you straighten. Good, keep it up. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, back to those pulses. So you're straightening that leg out, keeping it a foot off the ground, couple inches up, couple inches down. Flex that heel. You can do it. We're almost there. Get that leg up a little bit higher. Keep pulsing. Get that leg a little bit higher. You're so close. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. You can stretch it out. Bring that top knee into your chest. Stretch it out a little bit. Whenever you're ready, we're gonna stay on this side. We're just gonna plant this foot right kind of in front of our hips. So it's kind of depends on the person, how like flexible your hips are. So if your foot's back here, that's okay. Or if you can't even get it planted, you can just leave it like this. Otherwise, I don't know if this is cheating, but sometimes I just hold my foot there. So from here, you're gonna flex that opposite bottom foot. So we're gonna lift that lower leg and bring it back down. So this is really gonna engage those inner thighs. So instead of working this outer thigh here, we're switching. We're gonna work your inner thigh of that bottom leg. So you're gonna lift here and lower it back down. Lift and lower. Perfect. So we again want to keep those hips squared. So you're not kind of rolling back onto your back, really staying up on that side. Lift and lower. Again, flexing that heel, shooting energy through that leg. Squeezing and holding at the top for just a second before you lower back down. So you squeeze at the top, hold it, and then lower back down. Squeeze and hold, lower back down. You got it. Keep getting that leg as high as you can. It's not a huge range of motion, but it's still very effective. Doesn't matter how high you're getting your leg, as long as you're really engaging those inner thighs, squeezing and lowering. Of course, we have a pulse coming up. What else would you expect? In 4, 3, 2, and 1, holding that leg up. We're pulsing. Couple inches up, couple inches down. My leg is already burning. It's okay, we can do it. Flex that foot, lift a little higher. We're almost there. You got it. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower back down. We're gonna flip over to the other side. We're gonna start back with those leg lifts so you can straighten both legs out. Stacking those hips, stacking those feet. You can bring that head down to rest in your hand. That top hand, or that right hand, can stand or stay words, man, can stay right in front of you or up on your hip. So feet are flexed, that top leg comes about a foot off the ground. We are pulsing. Really keep that foot flexed here. Again, stacking those hips. So one is right on top of the other. You're not leaning forward and you're not opening back. Perfect. You've already done this once, so what's one more time, right? You are so strong, making it through. Power through to the very end. We only have a couple more challenges after this, and then you'll be done. If you can't feel this at all yet, you can lift that leg a little bit higher. Make those pulses a little bit smaller and faster as well if you want an added challenge. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep that leg right where it's at. We are bending and straightening. We're going to keep that foot flexed, bringing that heel around, squeezing it back towards your glutes, and then extending out, really pressing through that heel like you're trying to grow your leg a couple more inches. That knee stays right where it's at. You're just moving from the knee down. You got it. Keep it up. Extending long, squeezing on the way back in. Should really start feeling this on that hip right here, on those outer glutes. Couple more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wherever you're at, we're going to bring that heel back in. Those knees are stacked. We're going to pulse up with that top leg. Couple inches up, couple inches down. Holding strong. Flex that foot. Make sure it's pulling back towards your hips. You're not letting it come out here. Really squeezing that heel back. Lifting that top knee. Keep those hips stacked. That upper body stays strong. You are so close. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep that knee right where it's at. You're gonna pulse that heel back towards your hips. So again, taking out that up and down pulse and pulsing that heel back toward your hips. Again, if you can't feel this or you want a little added challenge, you can pull that knee back kind of towards the back wall and then keep pulsing that heel in from there. So instead of having them stacked right on top of each other, you can kind of rotate that knee back a little more and then pulse that heel in from there, making sure those hips stay stacked. You got it, keep it up. After this, we're just gonna work our way back down, going through those motions one more time, then we'll move on to some abs. So you're so close here, get that knee up a little bit higher. Don't let it sink down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keeping that knee right where it's at, back to those pulses up and down. Couple inches up, couple inches down. That heel stays right where it's at, but keep flexing that foot. Oof, can really feel it now. Only a couple more moves left. Finish strong here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten that leg out. Oh my goodness, pull it back in, just bending at the knee, isolating this motion. Extending out, pulling that heel back. My hip is full on cramping right now. Lengthen, reach to that heel, squeeze it back on the way in. We are so close, just one more round of pulses, and we're moving on. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretching that leg out, pulsing here. You can do it. Get that leg up as high as you can. Challenge yourself here. I know it burns. I'm right there with you. Flex that foot. We're so close. Lift that leg a little higher. Lift that leg a little bit higher if you can. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Bring that knee into your chest. Stretch it out. One more little section here, working those inner thighs. Then we move to abs. So stretch it out, breathe it out, do whatever you gotta do. And then again, get yourself so that that foot is either planted or however it works best for you. Either you can just kind of rest it to the front here, or again, planting that foot in front of you, wherever's most comfortable. Making sure that chest is staying lifted, those shoulders are staying stacked, so we're not opening up back towards the floor. From here, we're lifting that bottom leg and lowering. So really gonna work those inner thighs here. Lift and lower. Again, we're flexing that foot. Pretending like you're trying to make it grow a couple more inches, really reaching out towards that heel. Lengthening that leg. Squeezing, holding at the top before lowering back down. Squeeze and hold, lower back down. Hold at the top, lower down. We really want to make sure we're controlling it all the way down. You're not just sending it up and then letting it fall back down. You're just tapping that foot on the floor, controlling it down, lifting it back up, squeezing, tapping back down. You're not letting it flop down. Keep flexing that heel. You know we have to pulse. Barre rules. And then we're moving on. Couple more. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Get that leg up there. We are pulsing. Again, this is a smaller range of motion, so your pulse might be a little smaller. If you can't get your leg super high off the ground, that's completely normal. You can pulse it wherever you're at as long as you're feeling that burn. Working those inner thighs here. You can do it. We are so close. Lift that leg up a little bit higher if you can. You're done in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back down. We're gonna move on to some abs. From here, you can be sitting up tall, and we're gonna roll all the way back down onto our mat. You can go ahead and straighten your legs out as well. Those hands are gonna rest right by your sides. We're gonna slowly bring those knees into our chest, straighten, and then slowly lower back down. They're just gonna hover above the floor, bringing those knees back in like this, and then straighten. So slowly lower down, keeping those legs straight, bring those knees in, and then straighten. Option 2 here, as you bring those knees in, you can tap those toes instead, and then bring those knees in. Otherwise, again, we're straightening on the way down, bringing those knees in, straightening up to the ceiling, point those toes, and then lower back down. We want to bring that belly button pulling down towards your spine. So your spine should be pressing into the floor. Again, if you feel that spine kind of the pulling, like peeling up off the mat, go ahead and bend those knees, tap those toes. We really want to always be protecting that lower back. Inhale those knees in, slowly lower back down. Couple more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, straightening those toes up towards the ceiling. We're gonna reach those hands up, crunching up to the center here. Option to have those knees bent. You can reach towards those ankles. Otherwise, we're gonna keep those legs straight, crunching up to the center. Keep it up, really lifting those shoulders. We're not hunching over. We're lifting through the middle of our chest, keeping those shoulders open. Again, either reaching towards those ankles or up towards those toes for 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're gonna alternate opposite hand to opposite ankle, or you can bring kind of opposite elbow to opposite knee if you have those knees bent. Either way, really getting that twist in there. You got it. Keep it up. Finish your workout strong. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to those crunches to the center. So close. Couple more here. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Placing those hands back down on the sides or by your sides. Slowly lowering those legs back down, bringing them into your chest, extending towards the ceiling, slowly lowering back down, bring those legs in, extending straight. Again, option to tap those toes, then bringing those knees in. You can also do this one knee at a time, tapping one leg and then bringing it back in. Whatever is going to challenge you. You can do it. Keep pulling that belly button in. Keep breathing. Couple more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last one, slowly lowering back down, hovering those legs up right above the floor for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop those legs back down. You can bring those arms above your head for a wall-to-wall stretch. Stretch out that core. Whenever you're ready, inhale, bring those knees into your chest. Breathe it out. That is not easy. Roll it up whenever you're ready. You made it through the entire workout. Congratulations. Thank you all so much for joining me for Barre. My name again is Cait. I'm so sad we can't be in the studio, but I'm so happy that we can be making these videos and keep working out together. Have a great rest of your day.